the work. I'm just here to look pretty.
Do the talking.
I love it. You guess what? Everybody just heard Matt say. You're doing all the work and I'm just going to look pretty. That's what he said. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Let's Grow Together with Roar's Nursery and Garden Center. It is our weekly call-in show, but we are on the front lawn, one of our favorite days of the year when we get to come outside and actually Rachel sticks her hand in some dirt. Without gloves, I said to her, "Where's your gloves?" She said, "I don't wear gloves.
I usually don't, unless I'm cold.
Unless you're cold,
Yeah.
right?" All right, guys. So, my gosh, first of all, you can watch us on Facebook. You can watch us on our YouTube channel as well. And also send those questions to my email if you want to. And you can call in as well. 330-450-1480 will be taking your calls. But I'm going to turn it over to you because you've got to explain all this beautiful stuff that you have here.
Well, we do have shade here, so it's a little bit of filtered sun, but mostly shade. So I went with a Boston fern. This is kind of going to be our. I did a purples and orange kind of theme this year. So and then here's this coleus. I think. I forget the name of it. Oh, Inferno. So it does have kind of purple in the leaves, but it's like this really bright orange. So, and then I just did a lot of other. This is Rex begonia, kind of the same thing. A lot of times you get the color with foliage more so than flowers, but these are New Guinea impatiens. So they are a good flowering one for shade. So they're going to continue to flower throughout the season. They're very easy. And we did bring some all season to put in here because these guys do like a lot of food.
Yeah,
they
talk about your all season fertilizer.
So this is our all season, and it's going to feed throughout the year. It does what it says. So you just want to sprinkle it in. We kind of worked some in the soil here. Usually we do that before we plant, just because it's you can just mix it in there. It's in. It's a lot easier. Yep. And
it can lay against the roots of the annuals. It will not burn.
Yeah,
so it's designed to be mixed right into the soil. It can be used as a top dress, but it's designed to put right into the soil itself.
Yeah, because there have been times that I forgot to put it in when I'm mixing the dirt, so you can just sprinkle it on top and you're good to go there. So, and a lot of times too, I do kind of leave a little bit, like a lip, maybe like half an inch or an inch.
So the soil's
just so
a little below the surface.
Yep. So when you water it, it's not going everywhere, and that way you're not losing any, soil fertilizer or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, because it does kind of make a mess once you do that. So. That's kind of just something I kind of like to think about.
It's a good idea,
yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Right. So, and you do kind of need to leave some room for when you do get the plants because, they're going to take up a little bit too. So,
but as far as maintenance, when you pick these plants up for this planter, talk a little bit about how you selected those, knowing that they're at a business versus at a home.
Yeah, that's a good thing. And being in shade is actually a very good thing because shade usually needs a lot less maintenance. Aside from basically maybe kind of pulling off the dead flowers, these are pretty much self-cleaning. The New Guinea impatiens, they are gonna just kind of continue to bloom, but they do, leave some dry petals and stuff. So you just pick those off. But this is a very low maintenance planter, so
that's good.
Yes, it is very good. Yes, so usually with the full sun ones, you're going to get a little bit more. So you are going to maybe want to water it once a week, maybe twice, just depending on the heat. At least check it. Watering is always kind of an iffy question. We get asked that all the time. How often should I water it?
Each environment's
depends.
different. Even
When are
if
you
one's
thirsty?
in the wind and one's not in the wind, that wind really sucks that moisture as it blows across the surface out of those plants.
Okay.
And so those have to be watered more than one that's in a shade that they would be out of the wind.
Yes, yeah, and these are going to get exposed to the rain and the elements. So if it does rain, it might get a significant amount. If it only rains a little bit,
right? If
but
underneath the oak
also
trees here,
too.
so a lot of times big trees like that, their canopy sheds the water to the outside. So that's why it's very hard to answer that question super specifically unless we can see the site and see all the environmental factors that go into determining how often you're going to need to water.
Personally, I have a shade. My front is shade, but it's under an awning, so it never sees the rain. So I always have to water it, even if it is raining. So it's just kind of something you have to kind of check your environment, and same with stuff in the ground too. I mean, it's the same thing. You do need to water things a little bit more in planters because they are up and they're gonna dry out a lot quicker. Their environment's
When people come into the nursery, with they'll bring pictures of their planters, and you guys will help them select.
Yeah.
them.
Oh yes.
They're going to ask how many hours of sun does this area get. it. They're going to ask
how much
maintenance and time do you want to put into these planters, because there's some really cool, unique things, but there's some work.
Yes.
Right.
And if you don't want to do that work, they're not going to look like you want them to look. And so we'll adjust that to the customer's preference and help them. They're going to have better success if we're matching them up with plants that are A, going to do good in their area, and B, match their level of effort.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of times too, especially with petunias, and the things that are in the full sun, once they dry out, the stress of recovering takes a lot longer, so they're like bouncing back. So therefore, it's better to get them before they get stressed. That way, they're always looking nice, because it does set them back a bit.
How did you choose what you? I know because of the shade and the situation, but are these just some of your favorites, or
basically? Well, it's funny. Every year I kind of go through different. There's different things that you love, and
yeah, right.
I don't know. I've been really feeling oranges and purples this year. Just kind of, they're just super bright. But
I love it. Yeah.
I usually find one thing that I really love, and kind of go from there. That I'm like, I want to use that, and that's what I went with this coleus. That was kind of my inspiration.
Yeah,
was this
that's a
Inferno
beautiful
coleus.
color.
Just because I know that they're gonna, these guys just get better throughout the season. They're huge and bushy, and I just kind of went from there. So
for those that can't see, that is a leafy plant, and it's very orange on one side and very purple on the other side of the leaf. So it has
It's
a
a-
very unique two-tone look to it.
And also too, this guy is versatile. A lot of coleus are good for sun or shade.
Yeah.
Especially like the darker leaf ones and the orangey ones. Those do really well in the sun.
So they'll adapt
So
to
they
the
can-
environment.
yep.
If we
Right.
get somebody that says, I'm not really sure, 'cause we get that a lot. With
Oh, yes.
How many hours of sun do you have? And then they really look like a deer in the headlights.
Yes.
And so we'll talk to them a little bit more, but then we'll gear our plant recommendation to something that is going to be more forgiving.
Yeah.
We have the same thing in the shrub side as
Yep.
well. There's certain plants that will adapt to that environment and have a really wide range of what they'll grow in and do well in.
Yeah, and that is a lot of times what I kind of direct people when they don't know where to start their planter. I kind of do say, what do you like? Like, what's your colors? What are you looking for? The level of, vibrancy you want to achieve. But just find something that you really like and go from there. Like shade section and just kind of work off of that. So other than the sunshade thing, there's really not a lot of rules. Like this is your blank canvas, and you're the artist. So I mean, you do what you want. If you like it, that's what matters.
Right.
That's what matters.
I followed first time I ever did planters at my house, way back when. I followed what my sister always did because she's like a green thumb like crazy, and she put the spike in the middle and the coleus on the side and the flowers over here. And then I was like, okay, can we let's like move along from that?
Right.
We still sell an abundance of spikes. It's still too. Yeah. And there are good fundamentals.
good, yeah,
You
they're
do want
pretty.
something tall, but there is a lot of other options like grasses or ferns or
Right.
Elephant ears, things that can be your height besides a spike. But those are kind of general, guidelines that we do generally follow. Is like something higher in the back or in the middle, and then some bushier items in the center.
And
Kind
we'll
of filler.
also ask if the planter is going to be viewed from all sides
Yes.
or viewed from one side, because
Okay.
that will determine where we recommend the placement of the plant.
Yeah, you don't want if it's just back up against the back of your house. You don't really need to spend a lot of time putting pretty stuff behind where people aren't going to see.
You're going to use
so.
your taller thing in the back and then kind of terrace it down to the front. You'll have medium plants and then trailing plants usually in the front.
Yeah, so-
All right. Well, we got to take our first break here. And again, you can call us at 330-450-1480. Send an email to pcook@whbc.com. Come visit us, 550 Market Avenue South. We are on Lawn this morning. It is Let's Grow Together with Roar's Nursery and Garden Center.
I wanted to be upset, but I was worried about that sun.
Tune in each Saturday
It's
morning
working.
at 8
Well,
a.m.
it's
for the
okay.
Money Matters radio
You
show.
are the
Find out
camera.
how today's
But,
economy,
he said
levels,
during
and
the break we can
policies
switch,
affect your
figure out how to
hard-earned
switch it
money.
so I
You've
can
made
see
your
what I'm
money.
talking
Now it's time to watch
How
it
do I do
grow.
that?
Tune into the hour-long Money Matters radio show every
Yeah,
Saturday morning
he
at
is
8
the
a.m.
StreamYard
right here on News
guru.
Talk 1480
The bold it is
WHBC.
because
To speak to Bob
other
Votty or
people
Dave
say
Ryan about your
that
money
we got
matters,
this.
call New Horizon Financial Group in Canton at 330-499-1915.
Well, they were looking at a commercial anyway, so let's see.
330-499-1915.
I wonder how.
Rev up your engines and turn up the volume. It's the 2026 Maslin Cruisin' and Music Festival.
Okay, I'm gonna guess it's
Saturday,
back
June
triple
6th
camera. Let's
from
try it.
noon to 9, downtown
All right, we
Maslin
can see
comes
now.
alive with
Got it.
classic cars, live music, and food trucks serving up all your favorites. Cruise the right way. Don't miss the Massillon Cruisin' and Music Festival, proudly put on by the Massillon West Ark Chamber of Commerce and the City of Massillon.
I'll do something this thing. I think this will look
precision,
good.
performance.
I just don't want to be in that
tough
camera.
jobs in mind. Ventrac compact tractors from Bears Lawn and Garden.
That's okay.
handle
That was
everything
funny.
from
That was
mowing,
actually very
preparing
funny.
seedbeds, trenching, tilling, leaf collection, and more.
Do you think this
for a
camera will work
year-round
by then?
tractor. Whether you're a grounds
Okay,
care
I changed the
professional or
I changed the
large
view so I can
property
actually
owner,
see. I
Ventrac
had to
will
stay
give you
wide
expert
in case I was
results to
aiming the wrong way and fast.
Right.
and
Okay.
That's all
efficiently.
free.
Feel the
Triple camera
difference
if
when
that-
you
if
get
you
in
need
the
something
seat
else.
of a Ventrac
Yeah,
today.
all right, so then when I
Bears
touch
Lawn and Garden in
you, I
North
think
Canton, or call 330
will it let you do it that way? Yes, it will.
You
Okay.
have 3
All right,
ex-wives
so let me
and
have
your
you
current
shoot that
trophy
way.
wife wants a life
Okay.
insurance
And then you
policy
can-
3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase
The
for
angle
your
would be better from
previous
over there, but I also don't want to be
Yeah.
caught in your
So,
camera.
you
So
need to call
That's
Big
fine.
Lou, a term provider. 800
This one I just want you up close. Whatever they're doing,
Big Lou is
you won't be on the
intimately
whole
familiar
time.
with your problems.
I just
You're
can't tell
50
you
or
when you're
60
gonna be
years
on,
old
when
and
you're
in
gonna be
reasonably
off.
good
Oh, no
health.
problem.
A
So just
Get 'em
$1
up
policy
close.
should
from
only
this angle
cost
is
about
better?
$100 to
Because this angle, you see in the
$200
background,
per month.
you know,
Big
we
Lou
can
may
slide
have a
it.
solution for your previous policies as well.
Like zoom in
You
and
may even
far
save
the
enough
first
Yep.
money to
in.
lighten the
Yep.
load on
Yes,
your
no
new
problem.
$1 million
And then
policy.
You really don't need to get their
Call
faces.
Big Lou.
Just-
He's like you.
I'm the all the
except
plants
he's
while
only
they're
on
talking,
number
right?
Yep,
2.
No
whatever
problem.
they're pointing out.
At
Okay.
800-345-2789.
You guys pretend I'm not here.
That's
I think you may be able to blow that up bigger.
800-345-2789.
It's right
For
here?
$1 million
That
in term
whole
life insurance
page.
that you can
You should
live
be able
with.
to, you would think,
Call
right?
Big Lou
Yeah, when you're
at
on the other way, when you're on the sideways mode.
800-345-2789.
Where's your
This
camera?
year,
Set
the
up on
Medicine
top
Center
here.
Pharmacy
Flip it
is
around
proud to
this way.
celebrate 50 years
Okay,
of
And your
serving
camera's
our
right
community.
there.
Since
Thank you.
1976,
Okay.
we've remained committed to providing trusted healthcare, personalized
No, no,
service,
no, no,
and
no.
innovative pharmacy solutions for generations of families throughout our region. As a family-owned pharmacy, we are grateful to the patients, providers, and community members who have trusted us over the past 5 decades. Join us as we celebrate this special milestone. Look forward to the future of personalized care. Medicine Center Pharmacy, 50 years of caring for our community, one patient at a time.
Liberty Health Share isn't health insurance. It's a community of like-minded individuals and families coming together to share eligible medical expenses. With affordable healthcare sharing programs for any budget and the freedom to control your own healthcare decisions, it's easy to see that healthcare sharing with Liberty Health Share could be the right fit for you. It's your healthcare. It should be your choice. Start sharing and start saving today at libertyhealthshare.org.
Hi, it's Angie Rohr with Rohr's Nursery. Spring is finally here, and now is a great time to treat your lawn. Apply a pre-emergent to keep that pesky crabgrass from taking over. And don't forget to give your plants the boost they need. Our experts can recommend the perfect fertilizer for you. Stop into either of our 2 locations, Rohr's Nursery on Everhard Road and Rohr's Nursery on Portage Street. Or check us out online at rohrsnursery.com.
Rohr's Nursery. No, yeah, I know it's not a
This is Pam Cook for Yellow Light. I was talking with my friend about how high our energy costs have been getting. They told me that they decided to get solar panels installed. Is it even worth it? They told me about Yellow Light, a panel installation company that's been helping homeowners and businesses go solar since 2009. Reach out to Yellow Light to see if solar panels make sense for you. My friend still brags about her drastically lower electric bills, and you can too. Call them today, 216-220-6233.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing
You're not
is ready
potting
to
our
run
mics down.
because
Are our
Granger
mics potted
delivers the
down?
industrial-grade products
Okay,
he
this lady
needs
said
to
she
keep
can hear
mixers,
both of us on
conveyors,
the
and
air.
packaging equipment
What's on
moving.
the air
With
and
Granger's
us
vast
talking
selection
at
of
the same
bearings,
time.
belts, and motors, he keeps
Maybe
operations
she's
running
watching on
smoothly,
Facebook.
so
Would that
nothing
be
grinds
okay?
to a
That
halt.
might be.
Call 1-800-GRANGER
We're back
at
after this.
Granger.com
I'm
or just
ready.
stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Yeah, I guess you see the same thing. This is what's.
All right, we are back.
Yeah.
It is Let's Grow Together with Rohr's Nursery and Garden Center. Matt and Rachel, and I'm Pam Cook. We're all out on the front of the radio station, right in front of what is a beautiful beige canvas for some beautiful color that Rachel is planting in our planters this morning. And again, you can call us at 330-450-1480. Watch us on Facebook or YouTube. And you can also email me, pcook@whbc.com. and I'll ask questions for you if you need that. So, Rachel, so how do you go about, figuring out what goes where in that big giant planter?
So I usually start with the big thing and put it in the back. I usually with two, like side by side. I like to mirror them. So, basically, so they're kind of the same, but they're flip flop. So, I kind of go slightly to the off center to the back, on each side, like opposite corner, and then work my way towards the front. And I usually will put just like the filler, bushier ones, which are like these New Guineas and the coleus. So those are ones that are going to kind of fill out the center. And then the trailers are going to be kind of in the front, and I usually kind of disperse them throughout. Like if we were going to see it, at a 360 degree, we would put them, kind of at the back too. But I'm kind of keeping these more towards the front since that's kind of our focal point. So
okay.
And then this is a little trick that I wanted to share with you. This is a hanging basket. This is a good way to get some efficiency. Like if you are doing a couple ones, so there's usually 3 or 4 plants in here in a hanging basket, and they generally are pretty easy to split. Petunias and the trailing things not as much, but like stuff like begonias, New Guinea impatiens, lantana, a few things like that you can usually see in there, and they are really easy to split. So I'm gonna take this one hanging basket and make it into 4 plants. So use 2 of the plants in each of the planters.
And that is what again?
This is a angel wing begonia or a bosa begonia.
Okay.
There's so many different types of
It almost looks
begonias.
like a bleeding heart. It almost
It does. In fact, I've heard people say that before too.
Yeah.
So, in fact, there are I think
Does have
3.
an angel wing
There's
look
been
to it, doesn't it?
there are
That's very cool.
4 different types of begonias in here. So and every one of them is different. So that's kind of one of the things I love about them. There's so many different types. So,
And they're not always really put in the planters for specifically their flowers. A lot of times it's their foliage that you're after, because the foliage is always beautiful. Whether it's blooming right now or not blooming, if it's in between cycles, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The flowers are a bonus on top of how nice the foliage looks.
And foliage is a lot easier to take care of. So it's a lot easier to maintain. There's no deadheading involved or anything like that. Still fertilizing does help with that kind of thing, but you don't need to fertilize as heavy with the foliage plants. So like the all season usually is just fine for something like that. So a lot of times with the petunias and especially the full sun ones, we recommend doing a liquid fertilizer on top of the all
Let's
season.
show on that fern how you pulled it out of the pot. Let's show how the all season is actually mixed right into the grower's
Yeah, you
potted
can see it all the way down in there.
It's sitting right next to the roots, against the root, and it still releases slow enough it will not burn that plant.
Okay.
So that's super important. When you have a good granular fertilizer, you want to be able to use it everywhere, in the mix itself, as a top dress, and you'll never have it burn.
Yep. And this is also a good example. A lot of times when you get stuff that's very pot bound, ferns are very notorious for that. You do kind of want to work these roots a little bit and kind of just break them up, because that does help it spread out and establish. And that is true too for when you're planting in the ground.
And that one's not super bad.
It's not really bad. No, a lot of times we have to cut these out of their pots. So,
oh wow, okay.
And this is a Kimberly Queen. I think I said Boston fern earlier. They're very close. Kimberly Queen is more upright, and the Boston fern's one you see in the
Right.
They're those beautiful ones on those in the hanging baskets.
Yes.
So very similar, but she's a little.
And how do you know if too much is, how much is too much to put into a planter?
That is a good question. It can be easy. A lot of times we do tend to overstuff. Because you want
but it's going to grow, right?
But yes, there have been times where things choke each other out and stuff. So you kind of just want to go by the size of your planter, and every one of these is usually about 4 inches or so. And if you do end up to where you have you're not sure or anything, I always recommend buying a couple cell packs or trays of annuals, like Impatiens or something that kind of matches your colors. And that way you can just pop them in the holes.
Okay.
And that just kind of fills them in nicely, and it's not very expensive, and they give you lots of color. So.
And and I showed you a picture of what I planted at my house. It's doing great.
Isn't that crazy how the tomatoes
you
explode?
Told me, the funny thing was, I picked up 2 tomato plants. And she knew the thing I was planting in, and Rachel said, "You're only going to need one." And I said, "Are you sure?" Yep. And now it's like, it's, enormous.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Get out of my way. I'm growing is what it's doing.
Exactly. Yes. Which is what you want. But it is amazing how those little tomatoes they stretch out very quickly.
It's a cherry tomato that I got. But and also the marigolds. I put the marigolds in there, and they are getting... They look beautiful. Yeah.
It's finally warmed up enough that these annuals are really starting to take over and grow good now.
And a couple weeks in, you really start, after they start kind of spreading their roots and establishing, you really start noticing them.
So the all-season fertilizer, you just put it in once. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Just in there one time.
One and done.
One and done.
And then for like your fruits and your vegetables and basil, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You're putting it...
No, we
use the other stuff.
Yeah, we usually. I mean, you can.
The manufacturer says you can use it for vegetables and things like that, but our recommendation as a nursery is, if you're going to take the time to grow something you're going to consume, stay organic.
Right, and that's what we put in. Right.
Yep.
Okay.
We like to. What I gave Pam was the tomato and vegetable by Fox Farm. It is a slow release, similar. You would mix it in with the soil, and it just kind of feeds throughout. It really helps condition the soil and just give a little bit of micronutrients.
Probably has
calcium.
a little more calcium.
Yep.
Yeah, calcium is something super important for vegetables that isn't maybe necessarily important for foliage plants or flowers or trees or shrubs.
Yeah,
so
fruit development.
Yep.
So anything that's going to develop a fruit, especially tomatoes and peppers, eggplants, that type of thing, they get a blossom end rot, which is that. I think most gardeners have seen it. It's like a black spot at the very end of the fruit, and that's a calcium deficiency, which is, it's usually pretty easy to correct, but it's even easier to prevent.
Right.
So, and that's really what you want to do. So, and putting a tomato tone or the Fox Farm tomato vegetable in there is going to help. And then there's also a product called CalMag that I recommend. It's just or you water it. It's a water soluble, but it's not a fertilizer. You use it alongside your fertilizer. But it's just a supplement, so it's just like us taking, iron or anything.
Right.
So,
and then we put the liquid that you gave me was, that's once a week, right? The liquid.
Yes. Yeah.
Right.
You can do that really anytime, as long as you're following what the recommendations are, which I think is like a tablespoon per gallon or something like that. You can use fertilizer every time you water.
Okay.
So you're going to overdo it.
All right. Well, let us take our break for the news. And, of course, you can watch us live on Facebook, watch us live on our YouTube channel, or here on the radio. Send me your emails, give us a call. And you are listening to Let's Grow Together with Rohr's Nursery and Garden Center.
Hi, it's Auntie with Rohr's Nursery. Spring is finally here, and now is a great time to treat your lawn. Apply a pre-emergent to keep that pesky crabgrass from taking over. And don't forget to give your plants the boost they need. Our experts can recommend the perfect fertilizer for you. Stop into either of our 2 locations, Rohr's Nursery on Everhard Road and Rohr's Nursery on Portage Street. Or check us out online at rohrsnursery.com.
Rohr's Nursery, we want to be your #1 nursery. Rohr's Nursery.
The opening bell on WHBC is brought to you by Ameriprise, the Great Lakes Advisory Group. Call Jason Clemens or Brian Lake today for a free financial consultation at 330-493-0063.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a super fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. But wait, there's more. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be switching to an American wireless company that's committed to keeping 100% of its customer service in this country. I appreciate that. In fact, that's why I switched. I also appreciate the way they support our vets and our skilled workforce. Dial pound 250, say micro, and get unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. That's pound 250 micro. Stop paying twice what you need to pay for the service you want and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Looking for a school where your child gets the attention they deserve? Fall enrollment is now open at Regina Chaley School in Alliance. Serving preschool through 5th grade, Regina Chaley offers smaller class sizes, strong academics, and a caring, faith-based environment where every student is supported. Families may also qualify for the Ohio Ed Choice Scholarship. Give your child a strong foundation for the future. Learn more or schedule a tour at reginachaleyparish.com/school or call 330-823-9239 today.
Ventrac, power, precision, performance. Designed with your tough jobs in mind, Ventrac compact tractors from Bears Lawn and Garden handle everything from mowing, preparing seedbeds, trenching, tilling, leaf collection, and more for a year-round tractor. Whether you're a grounds care professional or a large property owner, Ventrac will give you expert results to conquer all your tasks quickly and efficiently. Feel the difference when you get in the seat of a Ventrac today at Bears Lawn and Garden in North Canton or call 330-499-4544.
Back by popular demand, pros pick DuraCube or Red Out Softener Salt is buy 12, get one free at Verndale Water Experts. Stop in or convenient home delivery available.
Ferndale's Water Center.
WHBC AM Canton, reliable as ever on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
From the News Talk 1480 WHBC Newsroom, it is the most talked about development by many around Ohio, aside from data centers. And the plan for a Buc-ee's in Mansfield is now taking another step forward. City Council there approved a development agreement to bring the chain to Richland County. It was a unanimous approval, includes an economic development tool known as New Community Authority. Buc-ee's will pay the $15 million in infrastructure needed for the project. They'll pay out of pocket and then be repaid over time. In Cleveland, it's been more than a decade since the death of Tamir Rice shook the nation, and now a gun-shaped novelty lighter has a Cuyahoga County Council member pushing for change. The council member says he wants novelty lighters off the streets, and so he is set to introduce the Tamir Rice Act, legislation named in honor of the 12-year-old who was fatally shot by Cleveland police while holding a pellet gun. In sports, the Cleveland Guardians get another win in New York, beating the Yankees last night 5-4. It's a day game today, 1:35 the first pitch, right here on 1480 WHBC. In Game 1 of the NBA Finals, an up-and-down affair, but the Knicks overcame a 14-point deficit on the road to stun the Spurs, 105-95. Knicks star Jalen Brunson was injured twice, once in the knee, once in the ankle. Stayed in the game and put up 30 points. I'm Pam Cook.
Your severe weather station, News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. Today will bring a mix of sun and clouds with warm temperatures reaching a high of 82. Tonight will be clear with a low of 60. Tomorrow is expected to be warm with a blend of clouds and sun as temperatures climb to 83. Tomorrow night will be partly cloudy with the chance of a shower late and a low of 65. Looking ahead to Saturday, expect a breezy day with a mix of clouds and sunshine. There is a possibility of a thunderstorm in the morning, followed by a gusty thunderstorm in the afternoon as temperatures peak at 77. With the AccuWeather forecast, I'm meteorologist Jason Caterina for News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Bigger one, but it's not looking good each year. It must need fertilizer. I mean, she lives in Finley.
Tell her to sprinkle that down on the ground.
All right, here we go. Let's get these guys back on track, and we're ready to go. We're all just, you get out on the front lawn and you just start having a good time, and you forget you have to actually do your job, right? So here we are. Let's grow together with Rohr's Nursery and Garden Center, and Matt and Rachel are here. I'm here. We're just planting some plants, and you can call us at 330-450-1480, or you can email me at pcook@whbc.com. dahlia.com. Okay, so here's a question from Mary, who says, I received a potted dahlia for Mother's Day. Can I transplant it to the yard? How do I care for it?
Yes, yeah, you can. I would recommend giving it a lot of fertilizer. It is going to bloom better in a pot.
Okay.
Just because they do better being crowded. A lot of times when you're planting something, it's going to spend its first season establishing. And since a dahlia is just an annual, which you can dig up the bulbs and save them, but they're going to be rooting a lot, so they're not going to be blooming. So just kind of something to keep in mind. But you can absolutely put them in the ground. I would recommend doing all seasons in there and fertilizing it regularly. So and it should just
Could
keep
you put
moving.
the pot in the ground?
You could put the pot in the ground. Yes,
that way it's
would
the best
help.
of both worlds.
That
It's
would
planted and it's still now
Oh,
you are going to have to
wow.
water more that
Yes.
way, significantly more than if it's just in the ground.
a
but
good idea.
you're planting it for the blooms. Dahlia's foliage is okay, but the flower is spectacular.
Oh, yeah,
So-
that's the flower. Yeah,
and they're
that's
very pretty. Yeah, so and I would recommend putting it in a little bit bigger pot than what it is in.
So it has
and then
some
bury it in
room
the
to
ground.
grow, but it
Mhm.
won't have full freedom.
It'll still be a little bit yes.
I've got a dahlia,
Yes,
and
yeah.
it's beautiful, but I feel like I need to put it in a bigger pot. It's in the pot that it came in.
So, Yes, yeah. As
So-
long as you're watering and fertilizing it regularly, it should be fine. But it would not hurt to put it in a bigger pot. So
Okay.
it's going to thank you.
So
It'll
that
give you a little bit more.
That makes me think. Okay, so I put full season fertilizer in when and all that stuff, and took good care of it. So beyond that, what should I be fertilizing it with?
The Jax is the Jax all season, or I'm sorry, the
Bloom booster.
the
Bloom
bloom
booster.
booster, bloom
Yep.
booster,
Okay.
or the petunia feed.
Okay.
Is not necessarily for the dahlias, but a lot of annuals do like a little bit more iron, so that helps keep them green.
Okay.
But that is something that we use regularly. But it's usually the bloom booster or a petunia feed. But it is a liquid that you would put in with the water. So it's
Okay.
just, again,
Jax is a powder, though, isn't
Jax
it?
is a powder.
Yeah, it's
yes.
a powder you mix
So
to a
it's-
liquid.
Yep. Yeah. So I usually put it in my watering can before water in. That way it's
Mhm.
mixing
blue.
itself up. Yep.
Yep.
And it turns blue.
Turns blue,
Yes. Yeah. The petunia feed almost turns like a really dark blue. Almost because it does have a lot of iron in it.
Okay.
And that is what we use in the greenhouse regularly, just because most annuals do
Right.
like a lot of iron
And they're heavy feeders.
and they're very heavy feeders, and that's going to keep their leaves nice and green and lush and not force a lot of new growth. Or not like real quickly, so
Okay.
it's going to push out new growth slowly and not keep them from getting leggy and that kind of thing.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
a lot of times, and I have seen we've mixed it with the bloom booster too, so you're going to get,
Gotcha.
yeah. So
Okay.
you can intermingle with things as long as you're following the recipe on the the
I
recipe
feel
on
like
the box.
I have to write it all down just so I
So-
can remember it all.
So but no, as long as you are, putting the tablespoon per gallon and following what it says, you can, use this fertilizer one day, this fertilizer the next,
And they
you're
all work
fine.
with all seasons. All seasons is like an IV. It just always gives a little more nutrients every time it gets wet from either rain or from you watering it. But it works well with the Jack's Bloom Booster or Petunia Feed because those are more like a Red Bull for plants.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. And the other thing is, as you're planting these things, we're all sitting here looking at it and saying how beautiful it is. You can help others do that, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
people need help.
Absolutely. We have a service where you can bring, if your planter is, a decent size, where
Mobile.
you can bring it in. Mobile. Thank you. You can bring it in. Or if not, just take a picture
Yep.
and bring that in, and we'll be happy to help you,
And takes a picture of the planter up close, but then also at a distance so we can see where kind of like the environment that planter's
Gotcha.
in. That'll
Yes.
help us help you.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And we'll help as little or as much as you want. So, we do that all the time. That's something we do.
And a lot
but
of times we'll just show you all of the options and then you tell us what you like and we'll help you lay it out.
And there's always somebody around to ask a question, so because
Yeah.
there is a lot of times where you just need to take it in because
Yeah.
there's a lot to see. There's
There
a
is
lot
a
of
lot.
That's one of the thing I say a lot is the hardest thing is to make up your mind.
It
to make
is.
that decision.
There is no doubt about that. I mean,
I struggle too.
my mom just kept saying, "Get a white hanging basket." That was her only requirement, was a white hanging basket. I said, "Okay, we got this. But when I got there, I was like, I don't know. There's so many to choose from.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely, it's hard. So.
And that's when we'll start to ask some of the other questions.
Yeah.
What's your environment? How much maintenance do you want to put into it? Because all of those will help us. So there's maybe 6 or 7 different kinds of white hanging baskets. Those questions help us narrow it down to which is the best one for you.
Okay. Right. In your location and all
Correct.
those things.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so now when I look at the planters, we have these big giant planters out front of the radio station. And, if you have those in your home, does that take more watering or more attention or
For bigger
ones?
Not necessarily. It honestly takes
Maybe
a little bit
less.
less. Yeah,
okay.
it's a
That's
little bit
what I would
less.
say, too.
Especially until they really fill in and you crowd and take. Usually you are going to be watering a lot less, especially in the shade. But when things are crowded, like hanging baskets, you're going to usually be watering them every day, sometimes twice a day.
So
because they're up, then
one of the other things, some people don't switch their planters over. Like they'll still have their annuals in there, maybe from last season. And sometimes the root system's pretty aggressive on some of these plants, and so you can't really plant there. So a couple different options. You've got an incredible knife that you use for breaking up the soil and stuff like that. But I've also seen us use a Sawzall with like a short, like heavy tooth blade on it. And sometimes if you're using like, which does happen, and it doesn't make it through the winter usually because things in planters generally don't do good through the winter, and they'll actually use the Sawzall to cut it out. So, so that's
that is
on
a
the
good-
industrial stuff.
Yes, well, they make some really good battery operated ones now.
Yes,
too,
yeah,
so-
yeah.
Because those grasses and stuff, and even sometimes these
The ferns.
they can get a little aggressive. That's the best way to put it. And a lot of times people ask if they can reuse the soil from the year after year. Yeah, as long as you're putting in some more all season, and I would add some fresh because there are some root.
And we'll pull like a
Leftover
pot or
debris.
two
We were
worth
growing
out.
pumpkins out here
You
on the
did.
front lawn.
That's because we do them in the fall with the gourds and the pumpkins
and they
and the
just-
mums and all that fall
And I
color.
pulled them out, after they had rotted pretty much. I pulled them out and threw them all away, but there was
So
something
seeds
left
made
behind.
it. Nature finds a way.
That's
Yes.
exactly right.
Yeah.
That was hilarious when Rachel says, Pam, you're growing pumpkins out there. Said, okay, well, we'll get that taken care of before you come back to plant the
they're
spring
already
stuff,
got
right?
us. Yes.
Oh, my gosh. And then, Matt, you were talking about what you did yesterday. Why don't you fill us in on
So
that?
last week I got to go up to a couple of the different grower facilities, some in Lake County, some in Avon, some in Huron, and I got to hand select quite a few Japanese maples as well as a bunch of other plants, but I think we bought almost 100 Japanese maples that are going to be coming in this week, and there are weeping varieties, there's upright varieties, there's narrow upright varieties, there's a weeping one called Red Dragon, which is a really slow grower. It has a much deeper red foliage to it than some of the other varieties, so we got some unique things, and when I can go up and hand pick them, from the first one to the last one, they're all good. The structure's there, the shape of the head's perfect, as perfect as plants will ever be.
Right.
There's never two that are identical, so you've got to be able to, when you go up there, a lot of times in the growing process, they'll have 10,000. And, this one's a little flat on this side. This one's not evenly round. And so when we go up there, we're looking for that ideal shape.
How long did that take you?
When I did the bunch of the Japanese, I got them at a couple different growers, but one of the places where we did a whole bunch, I was probably there. I think I left the house at 5:30, got up there around 6:37, and was back home at the nursery working by 1.
Oh, no kidding.
So
that's
you get in, you get it done, and you get home.
Yeah, okay. Because I thought, oh gosh, to look through all of those, but that's great. And we always say, you guys always have such wonderful things for us to go out and look at. It's just always
and
so
taking the
great.
time. Not most people don't do that. They won't take the time. They'll just call and say, hey, send me 10 of these, 6 of these, 10 of these. If I can go up, and not all growers even give you the option to hand tag, but the ones that do, I would have not bought 100. I would have probably bought 50 or 60.
Yeah,
but
right.
because I had the opportunity to hand tag, and I know the qualities 110%, we were able to buy a little way. We have really good selection all the way through the fall.
Okay, very good. Well, we're going to take our final break right here on Let's Grow Together, and you can give us a call if you want to, 330-450-1480. Feel free to send me an email, pcook@whbc.com. Watch us on Facebook, watch us on YouTube. It is Let's Grow Together with Roar's Nursery and Garden Center.
Hi, Hi, it's Angie Rohr with Rohr's Nursery. Spring is finally here, and now is a great your lawn. Apply a pre-emergent to keep that pesky crabgrass from taking over. And don't forget to give your plants the boost they need. Our experts can recommend the perfect fertilizer for you. Stop into either of our 2 locations, Rohr's Nursery on Everhard Road and Rohr's Nursery on Portage Street. Or check us out online at rohrsnursery.com.
Rohr's Nursery. We want to be your #1 nursery. Rohr's Nursery.
Spring mornings sound a little different at Hawks Nest Crossing. Imagine stepping outside the door, sunshine through the trees, peaceful walking paths, and beautifully landscaped ponds. Located in Jackson Township, Hawks Nest Crossing offers spacious condominium homes with maintenance-free living, surrounded by nature yet close to shopping and dining. This spring, discover a place where comfort meets convenience. Visit hawksnestcrossing.com to schedule your private tour today.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a super fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. But wait, there's more. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be switching to an American wireless company that's committed to keeping 100% of its customer service in this country. I appreciate that. In fact, that's why I switched. I also appreciate the way they support our vets and our skilled workforce. Dial pound 250, say micro, and get unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. That's pound 250 micro. Stop paying twice what you need to pay for the service you want and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Hey, this is Larry Hackenberg.
And Jennifer Toussaint from the Music Time Machine.
The Music Time Machine.
Don't forget the "the."
I'm real excited about our new Facebook page.
Yeah, I think it's really great.
I love the stories that we have on there.
And clips of the music that we've loved.
And don't forget about the website.
Oh, yes, where you can always listen to our full stories on themusictimemachine.com.
Don't forget the "the."
And don't forget to follow us on Facebook.
Ventrac, power, precision, performance. Designed with your tough jobs in mind, Ventrac compact tractors from Bears Lawn and Garden handle everything from mowing, preparing seedbeds, trenching, tilling, leaf collection, and more for a year-round tractor. Whether you're a grounds care professional or a large property owner, Ventrac will give you expert results to conquer all your tasks quickly and efficiently. Feel the difference when you get in the seat of a Ventrac today at Bears Lawn and Garden in North Canton, or call 330-499-4544.
This is Pam Cook for Yellow Light. I was talking with my friend about how high our energy costs have been getting, and they told me that they decided to get solar panels installed. Is it even worth it? They told me about Yellow Light, a solar panel installation company that's been helping homeowners and businesses go solar since 2009. Reach out to Yellow Light to see if solar panels make sense for you. My friend still brags about her drastically lower electric bills, and you can too. Call them today, 216-220-6233.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Our final segment goes so fast when we're out in the sunshine and enjoying the outdoors. We're on the front lawn of 1480 WHBC right here at 550 Market Avenue South, and we've been taking a lot of emails. Folks are sharing with us their questions, and we appreciate that. And Rachel, you've got that thing going on.
I'm almost done. So I do want to share an inner struggle that I usually have. So a lot of times when you look at the tag too, so you have a hard time like realizing, that because this guy is really short, this Persian Shield here, so you almost want to put it
in the front.
But
Right.
this gets really tall, so this is going to be another kind of tall element. It is, I think it gets about like 40 inches or so.
Oh, wow.
It can,
wow, okay.
That's over a long period of time,
Right.
but you can keep it pretty trimmed. But it's hard not to put it
In
in
the
a
front.
spot where it's...
It looks good right now.
It'll be
yes.
hidden at
It
first.
looks kind of at first because this begonia is taller than that, but eventually it will even itself out. So it's just something to kind of, keep in mind when you are doing it.
So it'll come up and match pace with that fern,
Exactly.
creating like a two-tone backdrop,
Yes,
which is what you're after.
So yeah, sometimes it's hard to say, like, because this could actually be some height for a planter, but right now he doesn't look like much. So.
Yeah.
But they do grow really well.
He'll
But
grow up.
Yes, this is Persian Shield, so this is one that's good for sun. It does better with a little bit of shade. It gets a little bit more silvery and full sun, but it can handle a little bit of sun.
And
so.
the hanging basket that you had taken apart, they're kind of like
they're kind of they're good
trailing of what
semi,
it's a
they're
little
cascade.
bit cascading.
Cascade, yes,
there we go.
So,
That's it.
So sometimes, that's how you can kind of get something spilling over the pot rather than an actual trailer like an ivy or sweet potato vine or something like that.
Okay.
It's just something that kind of just drapes over a little bit. So
Yeah, it
that's
looks so
really,
pretty.
Yes, yeah, and they are really good hanging baskets too.
Now,
so.
folks, they are right in front of the radio station, and I am, with their backs to the building, I am facing them, looking at the building. So, Rachel, as I look at this, am I seeing the backside of the planter? Is that what I'm seeing?
No, you're seeing
the side,
kind of the front. Yes, it's probably going to be more towards.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm just.
This is the front.
Mostly the front. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
So-
just curious. I'm
Yes,
just
yeah.
curious. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I love that you put the orange in there because that and the purples, it just all comes out very bright. And like I said, we have a beautiful, beige building here. So all this
Nice
color
to brighten it up.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
So
and
a lot of times I tell people, if they want to do something, if their house is beige or just kind of a neutral color, if you just bring some color in with the plants and that kind of stuff, and it really does make a huge difference. So
all right, Matt, I just got an email from Lori who says, when will the Japanese maples be available?
So they are coming. Some came yesterday. There's quite a few coming today. I don't know exactly what hour today they're coming in, so they'll all be out for sale tomorrow. And there's a ton of them. Like late today, they'll be in. If we can get them down off the loading dock quick enough. But there's 1,000 pieces coming in.
Wow.
So it's going to take us a hot minute to get them in, get them priced, get them down, put out for sale. But by tomorrow morning, that's the goal.
And what are you seeing folks come and get this season?
So Japanese maples have been a really hot item, which is one of the reasons we ran out and had to go get some more. So a lot of dwarf shrubs.
Yes,
So dwarf shrubs have been, everybody wants to not have to work. I mean, just
Right,
like you and
right,
me,
yeah,
we're no different.
Low maintenance,
So
yes.
low maintenance is like pretty much the number one requirement, and then something that's not going to get really large. So we have a couple dwarf plants. One's called a little quick fire hydrant, and it only gets about 4 foot by 4 foot. And then we've got another really dwarf one called Bobo. And Bobo is a pure white flower, and it only gets about 3 by 3. And some hydrangeas are a lot of work. There's 7 families of hydrangeas. The ones that have to have shade are the ones that are a little bit more work. But there's a lot of varieties of hydrangea that will grow very well in the full sun. Actually prefer the full sun. So whenever I recommend a hydrangea, sometimes people are like, I don't know, I haven't had good luck. It was probably the variety that likes the shade, and it was probably planted in the sun. So we will guide people when they come in. We ask them, how big is their area? What's the length and width and feet of the flower bed we're dealing with? And then we will actually take the plants and lay them out on the back drive in the shape and pattern that we're going to have you plant them. And then we can try different things in there. Say, you want boxwoods as your backdrop, it's your evergreen, it's your anchor anchor piece. Then we'll take flowering stuff and kind of pull it forward in the bed, and in between those boxwoods, we'll add the flowering material in. And if we try something, we don't like it, we can put it back, grab something else, try that. And I think being able to do that really helps them visualize and see what we're talking about. That's a picture worth more than 1,000
Yeah,
words.
absolutely
Yes,
it
yeah.
is. Absolutely it is.
And I've noticed too a lot of things that have really been lately has been like with elongation of color with like the leaf color and stuff, because a lot of people, flowers aren't going to last long. It doesn't really matter what it is or what's producing them. They really don't. They just have their time. So
Like lilacs this year, it was so cold and crummy when the lilacs bloomed. A lot of people didn't even get to really see it and enjoy it. That is why the hydrangeas are so popular, because they bloom for sometime in July all the way through frost. So they're a single time bloomer, but for a very long period of time.
Yeah.
There are other items that do rebloom as well. Their rebloom, from what I've experienced, is never as heavy as the initial bloom. So like there's a plant called a spilled wine Weigela. It's a purple leaf plant, absolutely beautiful. Gets this like fuchsia trumpet shaped flower on it. And when it blooms at the end of spring, beginning of summer, it's very heavy. It's just loaded with flowers. And then it says it reblooms. Well, it sporadically throws flowers here and there. It's not that heavy bloom that you saw initially all summer long.
Yeah.
How tall does that get?
About 3 foot by 3 foot.
Okay.
It's actually very compact. And then there's another one called My Monet that stays really compact. Another one called Bubbly Wine that's a yellow and green variegated foliage. It stays really compact. But with the My Monet and the Bubbly Wine, you've got that variegated foliage that is
He's
always
talking art
looking
and
good.
wine right now.
Yeah. So I don't know who designed the series of Weigela, but there's Wine and Roses, Bubbly Wine, Spilled Wine, Fine Wine.
Like, don't spill the
I'm
wine.
like, buddy.
Please don't.
So, but this is something also important. When you come in, we're going to ask you, do you have gravel or do you have mulch for your top dress? Weigela are out if you have gravel. They
Okay.
will not take the reflective heat of gravel. It'll cook the leaves right off of them, even if there's moisture in the ground. They just cannot bring that moisture up quick enough. So again, we're going to guide you, depending on what your specific situation is, to make sure you do it once and do it right.
Okay, and are these sun, shade?
They are
both?
sun.
Sun.
So those
okay.
plants are sun. They prefer 4 to 6 hours or more a day. They can take more than that, again, in a mulch environment, not where someone's using gravel.
The spilled wine one sounds good for the front of my house. I think it might work.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
the
It's really pretty.
midnight. I think is it Midnight Sun. There's another
Yes,
one.
Midnight Sun.
that's-
It's got like a caramel color to
It's
the
really
foliage.
pretty.
It's
I
very
got that
unique
one.
as far as shrubs go. There's not a lot of caramel foliaged shrubs. There are more in the annuals, but in perennials, but
Yeah.
significantly very few in the shrub
And
world.
then it gets like a bright red in the fall. It's got a really pretty fall
I'm
color.
not paying attention here. We're just chatting away. And it's time for us to go already,
Oh my
believe it or
goodness.
not. So go ahead, Matt. Give us locations and all that good stuff.
We have 2 Roars Nursery locations, 5357 Everhard Road in Kenton and 7211 Portage Street in Maslin.
All right, we're wrapping it up from the
All
front
right.
lawn of WHBC, and we appreciate everything you guys do for us and making our building look beautiful. And and same to you. And we will we will be back together next Thursday, guys.
Yes.
Thank you.
Spring is in the air, flowers are blooming, and it's the perfect time to freshen up your water, too. At Verndale Water Experts, they've been helping Northeast Ohio families enjoy cleaner, better tasting water for generations. From whole home water filtration